Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Rick Roll. Alright, it's the last day of my short weekend, and I got a couple little projects I gotta do today. First thing, I got a problem with my garbage disposal. I gotta figure out why it isn't working right now, so we're gonna take that apart and look at it. I need to go get a pair of new shoes, and also I gotta fix my last video, and I'm gonna start with that one because I want you to kind of understand what's going on here. Someone's a little upset with me for disturbing their morning meal. How dare you do your intro to your vlog while I'm eating? Now, for a while on my videos, from time to time you end up with a video that has either no audio or audio that's just kind of boring. And what I try and do is put music over the top of it. And that can be a little bit complicated. You may recall that this was the final scene that I did on my video, on my last video, where I just put a little GoPro on the train and filmed the train going around the village a couple times. Well, the audio from this clip was relatively boring. So I decided to put some music on it. And the truth is, that can be a little complicated with YouTube because there's music you can use and there's music you're not allowed to use. And it's sometimes hard to tell which is which. Now, obviously there's things you can't do with copywritten music, so you generally have to steer away from that. But if you go dig through on YouTube, you can find all sorts of options for copyright-free music, and if you search for that, you can find it. And so I actually ended up using this track right here, this Christmas music, The Warmth of Winter, and look, it specifically says in the title that it's copyright and royalty free. And I found one little piece of music in there that was perfect for the music to go over there, to go over that clip of video I had. And I put it up, I uploaded it, and YouTube rejected it and says, no, this is copyright-free music, or this is not copyright-free music. It's owned by somebody, and you can't use it. So I got to try and find something else that I can put in there. Now, YouTube gives you an option to they give you a link where you have supposedly approved copyright-free music from YouTube, but that stuff is kind of boring and not really that good. So I try and look to more open the search parameters a little bit to find something maybe more appropriate or more interesting. And that's a lot of times what I use. But even when it says copyright and royalty free on the title, it isn't always working that way. So like I said, I got to go find something new to put into it, and that's where we're going to start today. So I did find something I think I'm going to be able to use. This is kind of a jazz rendition of Silent Night, and I'm going to have to kind of recut the video a little bit to make it more fit in because it was perfect before, but obviously not enough. It's a longer song now and all that, but this is a song I chose. Probably what I'll end up doing is having the train go around the track a couple times to fill all this in. But I think this will work. So I'm going to throw this together and I'll let you see the final scene. Okay, so this is that whole new track I put in there. This little section here is my little outro where I thank everyone for watching and all that. And so I actually started the audio a little in the middle of that and kind of had it slowly fade up in the background, and then when the main course of the music comes in, we switch over to the trains. And actually when I was shooting the train footage, I had the camera in two places. At one point it was about 4 cars back on one of the on the coal car, and so it was kind of faced in to look at the village as it passed. And then I shot another scene where I put the camera right on the back of the coal hopper that follows the engine. So it's facing directly forward. So it's kind of a shot like you're standing on the first car of the train looking forward. And so that was kind of how I shot that scene. And Honestly, if you look in the background on the TV when it goes around, what we have is a video of Jordan's movie Christmas with the Columbus's playing in the background. So that's a little Easter egg here if you go back and watch that one. So this is how that final scene turns out. So I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. I gotta admit, I kind of thought about slowing down the video footage, maybe playing at half speed for this little section, but I think this is gonna work just fine. I like how you get the Christmas tree in the background there. You see, now I've switched to the camera being on the coal hopper, and it's facing more forward now rather than off to the left. And I kind of like it how the music fades out and the video fades out on the Christmas tree. So that worked out pretty well. So I think the next thing I got to do now is render that. Let's upload it and see if YouTube throws another hissy fit. So while that's rendering, I think I'm going to run over and get some shoes. Also got to comment a little bit on the weather. Just a few days ago, it was getting into the low 30s at night, and I was having to bring Flash into the garage. We're up into the probably 70s today, and we're only getting into the 50s at night. So Flash is back up and bebopping around the yard somewhere. Funny how that works, huh? All right, I'm back from the store. Got a brand new pair of shoes. Actually, when I was out looking around too, what I wanted to do, since I kind of have an artificial tree here, and one of the great things about having a Christmas tree in the house is the smell of a natural tree. I was going to look and see if I could find some incense or heating oil things that you can, like a Glade or Airwick air freshener thing that would have like a scent of Christmas tree. I wasn't able to find one of those, but I found kind of a cool little wax burner. And basically what you do is it's got a little bit of a light bulb in it, and then you get these little cubes of wax that you put in the top, and as they melt, it produces a really, whatever scent you want. And I thought this was kind of cool looking, and picked up one of those, and kind of got two different things of wax. One of them is the Christmas tree smell, which is what I have on here running now. But I also have like cinnamon and cinnamon apple kind of a flavor too. So we can flip back and forth, but I'm looking forward to having the house smell a little bit like Christmas trees now that we're kind of trying to do the Christmas season thing a little bit. Now the next thing I want to do is look into the garbage disposal. You may recall about 2 years ago, right after I moved into the house, I called a locksmith in and had him change all the locks. And then like 2 days later, I was walking out this door over here, pulled the door closed behind me, and didn't realize it was locked and ended up locking myself out of the house. As a result, I had to break this window to get in, and ended up almost amputating my thumb in the process. And a whole bunch of the glass ended up going down the garbage disposal and clogged everything up. And I had to take it apart at that point to get the glass out of there. I figured, you know, just turn on the garbage disposal, it'll grind up all the glass. No, this was really hard glass, and the only way to get it out was to literally take the garbage disposal off the sink and open it up and pull the glass out piece by piece. For some reason, it hasn't worked right now for a few weeks, and I want to get in there today and figure out what's going on. So first thing I got to do is take everything out from under the cabinets underneath here and take the garbage disposal off, and let's take a look inside and see what's going on. Yeah, it looks like I got it. There was a beer cap that had gone down the drain. I don't think that was the problem. I think it just corroded up, but I broke it loose and it's running now. So I think that pretty much wraps up our video today. It's just another example though where if you can learn how to do a lot of these simple things yourself, you can save yourself a ton of money. That took me 15 minutes to tear that thing apart, and most of that was getting the stuff out from underneath the counter. So, you know, I saved myself probably a few $100 having to not replace my garbage disposal today just by getting in there and figuring out what was going on. Now, probably, like I said, I found a beer cap down there, and that sometimes happens, but I don't think that was the cause of the problem. Just because it didn't seem like it was wedged in there in any way. I think the problem is I just honestly don't use the garbage disposal all that much, and I think what ends up happening is it tends to get a little corroded in there, and every once in a while you just got to get in there and break up whatever's in there. Like I said, I was able to fix this just by putting a socket wrench down the garbage disposal. There's like a nut right in the middle that holds the cutting blade in place, and I just locked onto that thing and gave it a couple of good yanks with the socket wrench, and it broke right loose, and then it was fine. So like I said, you can save a lot of money if you can do these things on your own. So anyway, I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.